American powers have a history of criminal activity. So if you want to understand criminal activity, you can look at it on a microscopic scale. And you can see that when a criminal breaks into someone's house, they're breaking in a house that they know has valuables in it. They're not going into people's houses that don't have nothing to offer them. Okay? So you got to ask yourself, why is the Chinese, the Americans, and the Europeans in the Sudan, as well as the Arabs, why are all these people in the Sudan, in Africa? Well, this next video is going to give you the answer. So I'm not going to give you the answer. You just listen to the video and these people will tell you why they are really there. It's not for humanitarian efforts, because what are they providing to the people? The people were already eating before they came into the region. So don't say you're providing them food. They were already drinking before you came into the region. So don't say you're providing them water. They were already surviving and thriving before all of these foreigners came into the land. So watch the video and you'll be able to answer the question, why are these people in the Sudan?
With regard to the oil revenue, there are some reports that I see that say that production is down 20%. Others saying it stopped completely. What do we know at this point?
The latest information I have is that many of the oil wells have been stopped. I don't know what the percentage is. There's some oil left in the pipeline, but most of the pumping has ceased.
The only option, the pipelines go through Sudan proper or overland by a truck to the coast. That's not much of an option. Never was. So this and no other industry in the country to speak of, really. I think the largest industry outside the oil industry is a brewery. So there's not much to fall back on. In terms of U.S. aid, this is one of the first examples I've seen where the U.S. has actually taken the prohibition that the Congress has placed on aid to countries that undergo a coup or new governments by virtue of a coup, and have said basically, and tell me if I'm wrong, we've said that if this is a coup and if it succeeds, that there will be a cutoff of aid. Has that been our policy? Are we using that as leverage now against those opposition forces?
We've said to the opposition that we will not support their efforts to violently overthrow this government, and I think that would include aid programs. But when I say aid programs, I have to be very careful because we're not talking about the programs that support the people of Sudan. Right now, all of our support to the government of South Sudan, all of that support it's not being implemented because we can't implement it, so we're not doing any programs right now. But I would suspect that at a point, if this violence continues, that we would suspend that support.
Those programs, if they were to be implemented now, what percentage of them are in the humanitarian area that would not be affected by our restrictions? And is it a real threat to those in opposition, the vice president's forces or whatever, that aid will be cut off?
I don't think it's a threat that works, because if either of these sides cared about their people, they wouldn't be fighting. And we have told them that they stand the chance of losing all support from the U.S. government, and the fighting has continued. But again, on the humanitarian side, if I may turn to...
Well, just to make a sharp distinction between the humanitarian funds that go directly to support people who are in acute need from the development activities, some of which went directly to support government capacity building and standing up of the new institutions. They're put in very separate categories.